Torgersen in the center, and of course, Coach Bagnoli on the left. We're going to open it up right into questions, so whenever you're ready, go right ahead.
Nothing hard. It's my last one, so at least here's. Yeah.
You're up a touchdown driving in the third quarter. Did you think you had him, or?
I mean, we felt good. You know, we have the greatest respect for that program. I mean, they do a terrific job, and I tell them this all the time. But our kids enjoy the challenges of playing against them. We've been reasonably successful. And so, you know, we knew we were going in for a 60-minute game, and we'd have to play well for 60 minutes. And we played well for portions of the game, a high percentage of the game. But again, we made a couple too many mistakes, and we left some points on the field and against, you know, that level football team. That's hard to overcome.
Coach, what did you think of running back Paul Stanton's performance? He had the 4th career.
Yeah, I mean, he's a terrific player, and they got a really good offensive line and really stout tight ends, and they do a nice job. And obviously, you know, he had a tremendous day, and he hit 2 home runs, which obviously even on the first play from the game, which is not the way you want to start. But he's been a terrific player, and you know, we didn't have many answers for him, but it's not just him, it's also the offensive line and the tight ends, and you know, that whole group is very difficult, especially given the ages of our kids that we're trying to defend with right now.
Coach, in the first half, you guys had a lead for a while. Did it seem like what kind of their production was kind of the effort, or like the product of a few home run plays, you know, the 2 long touchdown runs by Stanton?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're always trying to prevent one-play drives, and you know, we've been bitten on some of those throughout the year. And you know, to their credit, they made 2 home runs, and you know, he gets in the open field. He's pretty elusive, and he's a kid that, you know, certainly can make you miss and has enough speed that he can take it, you know, all the way for a touchdown. So, you know, you always try to minimize it. Again, we're not at the level we need to be, you know, to try to play a little bit better, a little bit stouter defensively than where we were. So, you know, to their credit, they were able to capitalize.
Mitch, you feel like you had him off balance for a time there? You guys hold that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we knew coming in that we were going to have to play our best game to beat them, and you know, for the first 3 quarters, I think the team was really hyped up on, you know, how well we were playing offensively and defensively. And I think there were definitely points where we had them worried, but you know, we knew coming into this game that we had nothing to lose, you know, given our record, and they kind of had, you know, everything to lose. So the weight was off our shoulders, and we were flying around having fun. It's difficult that we couldn't close in the 4th quarter, but I mean, I think there were definitely points where the whole team felt like we really had this one.
Coach, how difficult was it for you to have not one but 2 different opportunities where you guys were up a touchdown and had a field goal to push to 10, where that didn't work out for you?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We left some points and opportunities on the field against a good team. You can't do that. So those are obviously big plays. You get scoring chances, and you can't capitalize. And you know, one time it's the kicker, the next time it's the holder, the next time it's protection. So there's no constant. But obviously it's frustrating because that unit's been really good this entire year. And so this is not a good time for them in week 9 to have some issues that we were having today. They've been very, very solid, you know, leading up to this point. So I was surprised as anybody, to be honest with you, because it's a pretty good unit.
They hadn't given up more than 18 points in a game all year. You get 24 in the third quarter. Did you see something that you were able to exploit?
No, again, we you know, we have the greatest respect for that program, and they play good defense, and they got tough kids and hard-nosed kids, and you know, we know we're going to be in for it. But you know, again, we enjoy the challenges of playing against them. And again, we've had reasonable success playing against them, so it isn't like we've never won a game. And you know, so our kids stepped up. You know, they stepped up, and despite all the issues that we've had this year, you know, I thought they gave us a great effort for the majority of the game. And we just, again, you know, given where we are as a program, we're just not quite good enough to overcome some of the things, whether they're missed opportunities or big plays or whatever. You know, we're just not quite at that level given where we are as a program, given our injury situation, et cetera.
Alek, were there things that were working today that you felt like more than
Our run game was doing very well today, which helps out with our pass game, obviously. So, I mean, we were able to spread the ball around and kind of take advantage of, you know, they're dropping a lot of people, not putting a lot of pressure because, you know, we've been passing a lot primarily. So, it was nice to be able to run the ball, you know, take some pressure off me, obviously, and then, you know, still we were able to spread it out. And we knew they had holes in their defense where we could exploit, you know, but we took advantage of those opportunities, but we needed to close more.
those whole, I mean, were you referring in their secondary?
Yeah, it was in their secondary where we knew we could pass on them. They have good athletes deep there, but we were able to move the ball on them pretty well today. So.
Coach, there was a situation midway through the fourth quarter. You guys had 3rd and 1. And Alek took the run, couldn't convert, and yet still at 4th and short. You guys punted back. They ended up scoring that. I think that standing the 14-yard touchdown. At any point, did you consider going for it in that situation?
Yeah, I mean, that was a one-score game at that point. So, I mean, it's a high risk. You know, they've had numerous teams, if you watch the film leading up to this, of people trying to go on 3rd and 4th downs and come up empty. So, you know, it's got to be a calculated chance. I thought we were playing decently, and I think the percentages are to try to get it back. And, you know, so you can look hindsight whether it was the right call or not, but it was done because of their ability, you know, to be pretty stout at the point of attack.
Either you guys knowing it was going to be his last home game, how much did the guys try to rally around that, as much as I'm sure he tried to downplay it at all? How much was in your minds?
I mean, he's been downplaying it all season, but I mean, this game was big for us for a lot of reasons. You know, it was a good, you know, opportunity to cap the season with a big win. It's special, if you all speak for the seniors and myself, you know, playing our last home game on the Frank for our season, in our career in general, but, you know, having it be Bagnoli's last game here makes it definitely extra special. So there was a lot of fire going into the game, and we were hoping we could come out with a W, but I think we fought hard, and I'm really proud of that.
What did Tim say to you afterwards?
Tim and I have a really good relationship, and I think we have a tremendous amount of mutual respect and just admiration for the way everybody runs their program. So, you know, it's a classy program. They do a great job, and he's really a good ambassador to football. So he and I really, because we've had some monumental contests, you know, so it's really a healthy relationship. It's a healthy respect of each other's program. And it's an acknowledgement that, hey, you know, it's a treat to play against such a well-coached team. And, you know, so I think we have nothing but certainly respect and admiration for each other's program and accomplishments of both.
But he kind of tried to stop you a little bit and put his arm around you. What do you think?
Oh, no, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Just congratulations on the career and everything else. And just like people are going to do to him in a couple of years when he retires, it's going to be the exact same thing because, you know, he's done a great job. You know, so. You know, he and I are the two elder statesmen, you know, so he kind of took over for Rustic and Koza. And so now, you know, he's by himself now with Esty, so they're the last two. And at some point, there'll be 2 other guys. But, you know, he's been a good friend for a long time. And again, we certainly respect what each other's doing and each other's accomplishments and everything else. So he's a class guy.
Coach, in terms of talent, how does this Harvard team stack up against other teams you've played this season?
You mean like Yale? Is that what you think?
Yes, sir.
I think that'll be a really good game. You know, I think Harvard has really good balance, you know, that between the offense and the defense. I think they'll, you know, week in and week out have played better defense. I think Yale will present some issues to that defense, and I think, you know, Harvard will present some issues to Yale. So I think it'll be a really good matchup between 2 excellent teams, and I suspect it's going to be a very close game. But 2 very, very dynamic teams right now, 2 very mature teams, and 2 teams that are very accomplished. So.
Al, you talked about, obviously you had a lot of seniors who were playing their last time on here, but how successful were you for blocking out that it was your last time out there?
You know, I never really tried to make it about me, and I kind of felt bad for the seniors because I didn't want me to, it's their last game. At least I've had 23 of these, 23 seasons. It's inevitable that there's going to be distractions that come all the time. Whether you want them or you don't want them, it just happens. And at some point, it had to be my last home game. It's going to be my last game, and it's just the way it unfolded. But again, it's I think our kids played great, and I thought they handled all the distractions, whether it was it's Seniors Day, whether it was my thing. I just think they handled everything about as well as you can handle it. And we'll move on, and we're given all the things that have happened to us, we're definitely going in the right direction. So we can just see it, and maybe it doesn't show up in terms of the one-loss record, but you can see all these young kids making significant improvements and taking that next step. And I think that's going to bode really well for us, not only next week, but I think next year when all these kids are returning and having all this game time under their belt.
Alek and Mitch, in the third quarter when you guys came back and took the lead, it was really after the defense. I think they forced 3 straight 3-and-outs. Were you guys feeding off them? Were you feeding off the crowd? Was that kind of helpful in giving you guys their?
Oh yeah, I mean, them stopping like that can turn over total momentum change, and it really helps offense out when we get a short field. So I mean, when we're going out, we have 40-yard field to get a touchdown. It makes life so much easier. But we came out, we executed in the third quarter, which was great. Took the lead, but we finished games. So.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think we feed off each other big time. The offense wants to see the D make big plays because we want to get back on the field, and the defense loves getting hyped for us when we score. And we're a family unit, and all the guys on the team have great relationships. So we definitely get up for each other when we make big plays on both sides of the ball. And I think that's a great thing about this program.
You were saying that it's something you realized that you weren't at the level, and you said before that the level you are now, it's tough to overcome those mistakes. Was there a point where you realized it was going to be this kind of season, or is it just
very few things have gone according to script, and it's really been one of these weird years where, we've had, collateral damage even before the season started. We had it last off season, we had it over summertime with some key kids, and then it just snowballed from there. So, you never want to use medical issues as an excuse. You're playing football. It's a physical game. It's a rugged game. We certainly have had more than our share of medical issues that have caused a ripple effect and have really caused us to reach down a lot further than we want to be. And I give our kids credit. I mean, I'll take today. Our running backs, I thought Brian Schoenhauer, and Ryan Ripp did a nice job, and Mike Ellis Crew, but, those guys are 4, 5, and 6 on our roster, maybe 5, 6, and 7. And to their credit, they've worked hard, they stayed in there, and we always have that next man up philosophy, and, they did a nice job, and I commend them. I commend them because, they haven't had a tremendous amount of practice time, and, it was Ryan's first opportunity in a varsity game, and he steps up, and I think he acquits himself very well. But we certainly don't use medical issues as an excuse. It's the realities of the game. It's caused us to do a lot of shuffling around, and we've just had an unusual amount of things happen to us that's caused us to lack in some consistency, confidence, continuity, and everything else.
All right. So what was it like that last huddle? And walking off for the last time? Has it hit you, or?
Yeah, I mean, again, I've got no big complaints. We would have loved to win the game, and again, I'm so proud of our kids' effort, of how hard they played, and and everything else. It's been a good run. I tell people I've been very, very fortunate to be part of a great place and a great venue, and all the great historical things that have happened here. And I've been fortunate to be a caretaker for the last 23 years, and we'll turn it over to somebody else and give them a chance. But it's just been an amazing journey, to be part of something that's been around for 138 years. And hopefully, we've done our part to try to keep Penn at some point at the forefront of the league, and one of the programs that I think people can look at with pride, and as both a player, an alum, and everything else.
else? Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, thank you.